rock solo, dolo. Couldn't hold on no more. You ain't by me, you got to go though. You ain't by me, you got to go though. Now I rock solo, dolo. Couldn't hold on no more. You ain't by me.
Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. You trying to get in my video? You trying to get in my video? You trying to get in my video? You want to get in my video?
Your video?
Yeah. I'm recording. You want to get in my video? No? I'm recording.
You make video for what?
Huh?
Make video for?
Vietnam.
Vietnam?
Have you ever been to Vietnam? No, I went to Vietnam before I came here.
Oh,
Yeah,
you are there.
in
You
Vietnam.
just go tourist or staying here?
I'm just traveling all the countries in Asia, and then I'll go to another country.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So now how many countries?
just Da Nang, Vietnam, Hoi An, Vietnam. I'm in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I want to go to the beach, Puntai. I want to go to the beach in Malaysia, and then I'll go to Thailand.
Langkawi?
Huh? Langkawi, yep.
Langkawi.
Yep. And then I'll go to Singapore, just different countries.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. What's good, love? Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back, love. What it is, so welcome. Hopefully you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you never miss a video, okay? So you never miss. Don't miss me now. Don't miss me. So yeah, in this video, we're gonna talk about my overall experience in Vietnam as a whole. I wanted to tap in before I got too far out of Vietnam and just share my experience about Vietnam as a whole. Okay, so hopefully if this video interests you, you check it out and you stick around, and hopefully it helps you on your traveling journey. Hopefully it helps you put Vietnam on your list of places to visit in your future travels. Okay. The weather. Let's talk about the weather first. I know the weather is so like surface level comment, whatever. Let's talk about the weather, okay? I felt like the weather between Da Nang and Hoi An. So let me start with this. If you didn't know, I went to Hoi An, Vietnam, and I visited Da Nang, Vietnam. I spent 2 weeks in each city, and I'm just going to break down the weather contrast between the two different areas, okay? I do feel like it's a little bit cooler in Da Nang than it was in Hoi An. I feel like it was cool at night. I was like, dang, this is not what I expected. I expected it to be burning up out here. But it was cool. It was cool at night. Even I didn't run the air con in my room, and still I was like, okay, I need to cover up. Like, this is crazy. Like, this is crazy. Okay, so the weather was definitely shocking to me that it wasn't as hot as I expected it to be in Da Nang. But then once I got to Hoi An, it was hot as hell. It was hot. Every time you stepped outside, I don't care if you went down the stairs, I don't care if you stepped on the balcony, you needed to take a bath. Like, you definitely needed to take a shower every time you stepped outside in Hoi An. Quote me on it, okay? Quote me on it as far as the weather goes. But I loved it. I'm more so of a tropical girl. I definitely need tropical environment, tropical temperatures. Hit me with a 70. Matter of fact, boil me. Matter of fact, put me in the oven, turn it on broil, put it on 600, put the grill on, put the fire on. I'm all for being warm, and I like the overall temperature in Vietnam, okay? Next, let's talk about the pace of life, the pace of just the pace of the different locations. I do feel like I think I mentioned this in one of the other videos. I feel like Da Nang is more so for like the city guys or the city girls, like the people who like to party, people who are a little bit more fast paced. I do feel like Da Nang would be an area that resonates more. But then I feel like Hoi An is a little bit like where retirees go. It's a little bit more laid back, a little bit more chill. I feel like the older folks are like Hoi An a little bit more. They don't play. They shut it down. Okay. Again, too, I do feel like because a lot of people have their homestays and stuff like that in Hoi An, I feel like it changes the environment. It changes the vibe a little bit compared to Da Nang, where it's more so like hotels and high rises and stuff like that. That's the vibe difference between one and the other. I do feel like the pace of life is and I'm not gonna say it's drastic, but it does change. I feel like Da Nang, all hours of the night, they still doing something. You can still go find something to do all hours of the night. But in Hoi An, they shutting it down. They shutting it down. Matter of fact, the homestay that I stayed in, after a certain time, they turn off all the lights in the walkways and they close the gates. Child, I was like, what if I need to get out? What if I'm out tonight and when I need to come back in? That was concerning for me. I ain't even gonna hold you on that. That was definitely more concerning for me, because they shut down and I'm in a foreign place and I'm like, hold on. I know there's safety, but at the same time, I feel like I'm restricted. I'm in jail. Like y'all trying to steal a bit. You feel a bit like so the pace of life, the pace of living, or the pace of life. That's what my input on that. The pros on the pace of life. It was cool. It was cool to experience both. I got to experience the club nightlife, and then I got to experience the shut it down life. I like that. I like balance. I like to experience both. I feel like I have both those energies in me. Sometimes I like to be out all night, and sometimes I like to be in the house before the sun go down. So I like the contrast between the both. Okay. The cultural observations. I do feel like in Hoi An they were more so. It was out on Front Street that they was cultural, that they were religious and spiritual. I feel like everybody house you walk past, they had like a little altar, like whether either is raised up, like they got like a shelf built into the building, and they got their candles and their incense and their Buddhas and their offerings. I really loved seeing that. I think that's one of my favorite parts about Hoi An is that you knew that they were spiritual. You knew that they were, that this was important to them. I feel like they took very good care of it. I'm not saying that they didn't in Da Nang, but I saw it more in Hoi An. Da Nang, you more so see their altars and stuff like that inside of the buildings, from my observation. But in Hoi An, it was really prominent. Like I said, you ride past, like even the homestay that I was in. I had to walk down an alley to get to the homestay, so I'm walking past other people's driveways, and each person, they had the little shelf built outside. They had their altars. Each house, like it wasn't like, okay, maybe this house got it, this house. No, every single house had it. They had their offerings outside for Tet. Like I don't know. I just felt like it was more spiritual in Hoi An than it was in Da Nang. That was just my take. I didn't go everywhere. I didn't see everything, but that was just the places that I went. It was more prominent there. I do feel like in Da Nang, they bowed a lot. There was a lot of bowing in the greetings. I didn't get that as much in Hoi An, but I did feel like everybody was more open arms in Hoi An. So I felt like I was a part of the family more so in Hoi An. But in Da Nang, I felt like they just respected me because I'm in their culture, if that makes sense. So the bowing was like, okay, you're in my country, you're in my culture, respect. But in Hoi An, they trying to hug on you, they trying to touch you, like that kind of thing. So walkability, for me, walkability, it was walkable, very walkable in Hoi An. more walkable than I thought in Da Nang, but that was because where my Airbnb was, it was not in a walkable area. Like you can walk up and down the street and there's nothing. It's nothing but the hotel that I stayed at. It was one store, but that store barely had anything. It was more so construction in Da Nang where I was. I think I was in Song Tra. I'll put it on the screen of where I was located, like the district or the part of Da Nang that I was in. Um, but once you did get over by Mai Kai Beach, it was definitely walkable. It was a lot going on that side. But where I was, it just was not walkable. But Hoi An, it was walkable. You get on your bicycle, you could ride down there. You know what I'm saying? It was you can get around better or more on foot in Hoi An. That's just my opinion. Again, these are all my opinions. Your opinion may be different. You may have had a totally different experience, but this is just mine's. Okay, me. All right. So, the food experience. I do feel like it was easier for me to eat in Hoi An. I feel like Hoi An had, because I feel like it was more locals. It was more locals to me in Hoi An and more foreigners in Da Nang. But I feel like the food was more so like, you know, the soups and I feel like it was more so like local eateries. You know what I'm saying? Like in Da Nang, you could probably get more fried chicken and fries in Da Nang. For me, it was a lot of Indian food in Da Nang. Like you get on Grab, it's hella Indian food in Da Nang, but it is Indian food in Hoi An, but it's more so like, you know, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It was more so like mom and pop. Okay, so it was more big brands in Da Nang, but more so mom and pop restaurants in Hoi An. And I feel like the mom and pop restaurants is what resonated more with me because they use more natural ingredients. They use more vegetables and rice and salt and veggie broths kind of food. But then when I was in Da Nang, I had to eat more like Indian samosa, like more fried food. So again, I feel like they tailor more to the foreigners or the visitors than Hoi An that tailor more to the locals. They have more local cuisine there. And again, my opinion, okay. Massages, chow, they gonna rub you down. I don't care where you at. Da Nang, Hoi An. You know what? One thing in Hoi An, you'll go to the market to get your bottle of water and they'll offer you a massage. All right. They don't play about their massages. I love me a good massage, but I did think that was a little strange. I went to get some water and the lady was like, massage? And I'm just like, ain't this a market? Like where you gonna do it at? On the chips? Like, yeah, I don't know. They do have a lot of restaurants and a lot of the restaurants and businesses. I don't know if it was the same in Da Nang, but a lot of restaurants and businesses was a part of people's houses. Like their houses in the back, and the storefront was in the front of their home. So I feel like that's beautiful. That's amazing. That's generational. You feel me? Come on now, tap in with your girl. But I really liked that more. I really liked, again, it was a little bit more personal. You feel like you was coming into their home. They was opening their home to you, their arms, their heart. I love that about Hoi An. Again, I feel like it was more difficult to get around in Da Nang. I don't feel like, I feel like Da Nang and Hoi An, neither of those areas felt to me like it was difficult to live there, or it was difficult to do life there. I feel like it was very easy and very affordable. I feel like they got markets everywhere. You can order what you need on Grab if you can't get to the store. I don't know. I feel like I didn't feel like it'll be too much of, for Vietnam, Da Nang and Hoi An. I didn't feel like it was a big culture shock if you were coming from the U.S. I feel like you could really find you a vibe, you can find you a rhythm, and I feel like you can just fall in line with what they got going on out there already. That's just my opinion. They had shops, they had sneaker stores, they had stores you can get clothes, you can get some clothes tailored just for you. Like, again, I really didn't feel like I was in an area where I couldn't get what I needed. I feel like everything that I needed was there at some point, if I just researched and looked it up. So I don't know. I probably did pay the tourist tax a couple times. I don't know. I don't know. But I was just, if I needed it, I need it. I'm like that in the U.S. Like I'm not one of those people who watch the cost of gas because I need it. All right, I need it. I need it to drive. So I'm not one of those people who watch the cost of gas. I don't know if I go to that gas station way over there that the gas cheaper. I'm not one of those people. I need gas. It's probably gonna cost me the same amount of gas to drive over there to get that cheaper gas. So I'm just gonna get gas. Like I'm not one of those people. So I probably did pay the tourist tax. I needed it. I paid it. I got it. I'm good. So sorry. The cost, how affordable it was. Let me say this: the contrast, the comparison between how much it cost to live in Vietnam and how much it cost to live in the U.S. That was super surprising for me. I know they always said that it was, more affordable, but I did not expect it to be that affordable. I did not expect to catch a 20-minute Grab or Uber or Lyft and it be 20 cents or $3. Like I didn't expect that at all. I do feel like, if you are trying to live abroad and, maybe your budget's not that big, I do feel like put Vietnam on your list. You'll still be able to get what you need and live how you want to live in Vietnam. I did see, like, because I am in communities for other expats. I do feel like a lot of them, I'm not gonna say struggle, but a lot of them want Western food, some Western ingredients and stuff like that. But again, because of my diet, I'm vegan. I'm not looking for the chicken. I'm not looking for the, ham hocks. I'm not looking for the turkeys. I'm not looking for any of that stuff. So I didn't really have those struggles. If you are big on Western food, you will struggle. They do have the basics: chicken. Apparently, they don't have turkey. They do got beef. They have the stuff. Like, let me explain it to you like this. If the ingredient that you use is in a Asian dish, you can get it here. But if it's not in an Asian dish, you're gonna struggle. Just like I said, turkey. You've never heard of turkey anything and anything Asian. In any Chinese food and any Japanese food, turkey is just, I ain't never seen a fried turkey on any restaurant menu. So that's one thing you're gonna struggle with. Some of the seasons you're gonna struggle with it. You feel me? So keep that thought in your mind, all right, when it comes to eating. Okay, if you open and willing to try local food and try their things, you gonna thrive, all right. Again, I felt like everybody was hospitable, everybody was nice. I did one thing I can say is I noticed people staring. I noticed people looking at me. I deal with that in the States as well. I don't know what they be looking at, but I look at their ass too, and I be like, hey, how you doing? Like, if anybody be staring at me, I don't care what country I'm in. If somebody's staring at me, they looking at me, I'm going to smile and say, hey, how you doing? Hi. I see you. Hello. So, same thing when I was out here. People do stare at you. I'm a big girl. So one thing I did notice that everybody, I'm not gonna say everybody, but most people were more petite. So chairs were more, suitable for smaller statures. The plane ride, smaller stature. Maybe the bathrooms in some places, smaller stature. Even though people say a lot that it's hard to get clothes in Vietnam, I did not struggle with getting clothes. Like I said, I actually went to the mall. They have a mall, and I'll put the name of the mall on the screen that I went to. They had clothes in there. Even though I didn't buy no clothes, they had clothes that I could fit in there. And then when I went to Old Town, everything I bought was 5X. Okay, now back in the States, I might wear large. But everything I bought when I was in Hoi An, when I went shopping, 5X. Okay, 5X. Your girl's in the 5X out here. Okay. So people say they struggle with that. I did not. One thing I do want to mention, people talk a lot about the beds, how the beds are harder. I didn't have a problem with the beds. Matter of fact, the beds that I've slept on since I've been out here is the best sleep I've had before I got here. Very nice mattresses. I did not have a problem with any of the mattresses that I slept on since I've been here. I can't really, I guess I can speak to daily life differences. I guess I can speak to daily life differences. Everything that I really did at home, I kind of did here. Like, they had places I can go do yoga. They had places I can go to the gym. They had places I can go out and walk. They had parks, or, I feel like everything that I was interested in, everything that I like to do, I feel like I could do that in Vietnam. I didn't feel like I was missing anything. I didn't feel like, oh my God, I missed this, except for maybe a kale wrap. But if I had an accommodation with a kitchen, I would have went to the store and been able to make the same things that I make at home, because I am my diet is a little bit different. So my diet is a little bit more in alignment with what they eat out here, other than all that damn soy. They eat chickpeas. They got chickpeas out here. They got mushrooms out here. Even the mushrooms that are hard to find. So like king oyster mushrooms or oyster mushrooms, even lion's mane mushrooms. They are way easier to find here. And in the U.S., like, I had to go from store to store to find certain items. So I feel like as far as eating goes, if I had a kitchen, it would have been easier. So when I was saying earlier that it's harder for me to eat, that's for like grab and eating out. But if I needed to make it at home, or if I had the opportunity to make it at home, I wouldn't have struggled with it. Things that just didn't align with me personally, about Hoi An or Da Nang, just Vietnam overall, for the places that I went to. Soy. No, I would love to experience it with like my own accommodation. Like, I would love to experience Vietnam not in an Airbnb, like in a long-term rental, because then I can get my incense. I can go to the local store and get my incense. I can go to the local store and tap in with my spiritual stuff. But I feel like that to me was more limited because I was in an Airbnb. I didn't have my own space. I did feel like, the fact that a lot of places lack kitchens, that was something that kind of, because I like to make my own food because my diet funny. But I didn't have that. So that was one thing that I didn't like. I did have one experience. Now that I'm thinking about it, this was the only negative experience that I had in Vietnam, and it was in Hoi An. So I went into the market, and I was standing there on my phone trying to GPS to where I needed to go. And a man walked out, and he walked right next to me, like not shoulder to shoulder, but like maybe within arm's length of me. And he just hawks like, and his spit got on me. Oh, now I don't know if it was intentional by me. I don't know if it was about me. I don't know what it was, but I felt like it was rude, and I almost said something. I almost went back to the U.S., but I was like, I'm not in my country. I'm not at home. I can't be out here acting a fool. But it did bother me. And he walked up next to me. He spit. And he took out a cigarette and he lit that bit. And I was just like, beep. Anyway, this one thing that I didn't like, trash, like all of the garbage and stuff. I didn't like it because it stunk. And for me, like, I'm very big on scents. I'm very big on aromas. I like my incense. But there was a lot of trash, and it stunk in some places. Even like leading up to Tet, I guess like a lot of places, they clean out their home. They clean out, they do like a deep cleaning. So there was a lot more trash leading up to Tet. Of course, they cleaned it when Tet got here. But I can't get jiggy with it. I can't. Like, my OCD was I was glitching, bitch. I was glitching, bitch. I was sanitizing everything. Yeah, I can't get jiggy with that. Again, the driving situation. was nerve-wracking, stressful. I just, that was too stressful for me. The driving situation. I don't think I ever drive. I can't even say that I would do the motorcycle thing or the motorbike thing. I don't know about the bike thing. I just don't know about it. Maybe I get on it once. Maybe that'll, like, open me up to it. But I just can't do it. I just can't, cause I just don't feel like it's enough rules on the road to protect me. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. Cause now I'm putting my life or my safety in somebody else's hands. And if you know me, you know I don't play that. I don't play that. I don't trial. I don't play that. Overall, Vietnam was definitely an experience. I would go back. I loved it. It was a great first stop on my journey to freedom and exploration and evolution. It was my first stop. I loved it. It was a perfect stop. If you are making this transition from the U.S. to abroad, I feel like Vietnam for surely a good place to kind of start. I really liked it. I would definitely go back there again. I would go back there long term. I don't know about moving there permanently, but I would definitely go back there for 6 months or so. And I feel like I would do just fine there. Okay. But yeah, Vietnam was definitely an experience. I'm glad I saw it. I'm glad I experienced it. I'm glad I was able to immerse myself in their culture and what they had going on. I had an amazing time during TED. I learned a lot about the culture, the people. I learned a lot about myself. Yeah, a great experience. And I feel like you should experience it too. Okay, you too. Yeah, I'm talking to you. But now I spent 30 days in Vietnam. So now we are moving on to the next place. I move on to the next place with an open heart, an open mind, and just an open energy overall to experience the culture, the people, the food. And yeah, I encourage you to. Okay. So hopefully this video helps you get a better understanding or a better perspective about Vietnam. Hopefully it helps you decide if you want to come here, travel here, move here, whatever the case may be. If you have any questions, concerns, or anything like that, comment down below and I'd be glad to answer them. But yeah, y'all stay amazing, y'all stay blessed, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Bye.